Have you ever stopped to consider why, when two individuals are dealt the same crushing blow, one of them seems to find a way to rise while the other stays buried under the weight of it for a lifetime? It's easy to believe the answer is rooted in luck, in innate talent, in the family you were born into, or the opportunities you were given. But a century of psychological exploration suggests the real turning point begins in a hidden territory most of us are terrified to enter. Lurking beneath the surface of your daily thoughts, beneath the habits you can't break and the identity you've carefully constructed, there's a force you seldom acknowledge. It's shaping your relationships, your self-belief, your deepest fears, and even the future you imagine for yourself. The strangest part? This force is not an external enemy. It's a resident within you, a passenger you've never truly met, silently running the show while you remain unaware. Imagine inheriting a vast, sprawling mansion with countless rooms. It's yours, but you choose to live your entire existence in just one of them. You clean that one room, you defend it, you decorate it with your favorite things, and eventually, you convince yourself that this tiny space is the entirety of your inheritance. Yet, behind every other closed door lies a part of you. Forgotten memories, suppressed strengths, old wounds, abandoned passions, and a version of yourself you've never allowed to exist. This is the metaphor for the life most people live. We mistake the small, comfortable room of our conscious mind for our entire being, while the vast unconscious orchestrates everything from the shadows. Here's the insight that almost nobody understands. You are not just a product of what you consciously decide to do. You are also the result of what you unconsciously repeat. Every belief you absorbed without examination, every painful memory every fear you inherited from your environment becomes a line in a hidden script. This script runs underneath your awareness, influencing your choices, shaping your perspective, and eventually, dictating what you perceive as your reality. The mind prefers the comfortable, even if that comfort is pain. This is why people often find themselves in the same emotional situations over and over again. Have you ever wondered why you keep attracting the same kind of partner, the same kind of job stress, the same kind of disappointment? Different faces, different places, but the same underlying feeling. Consider something that is with you every second you are awake. A constant companion that never stops talking. It narrates your day. It judges your outfit. It criticizes your performance. It conjures up worst-case scenarios the moment you consider a new path. Most people believe this voice is the core of who they are. But what if it isn't? The truth is more surprising than you might imagine. A significant part of this inner monologue isn't even original. It's a collage of borrowed voices. It sounds like your parents, your teachers, your peers, the culture you grew up in, and even the bullying you experienced as a child. Over time, these external voices were internalized so thoroughly that you forgot they were ever an outside influence. You simply accepted them as the honest, objective truth of your own life. The loudest voice you hear isn't always yours. This borrowed voice acts like a warped mirror you've looked into your whole life. Because you've never seen a different reflection, you have no idea that the image is distorted. You believe the fractures and distortions you see are your real face. The unconscious operates the same way. It reflects back an image of yourself based on old data. If you have been telling yourself you're unlovable, your mind will filter every experience to confirm that belief. Kindness becomes suspicious, rejection becomes proof, and compliments are quickly forgotten. If you have been telling yourself you are not capable, your mind will filter every opportunity through that fear. How many times have you talked yourself out of a chance to grow before you even tried? Your own mind becomes the gatekeeper of your limitations. To protect ourselves, we create a persona, a social mask designed to help us fit in and earn love. As children, we quickly learn which parts of ourselves are acceptable and which must stay hidden. We discover that some feelings are best buried, some dreams are silly, and some aspects of us bring approval while others bring punishment. Unknowingly, we become the world's best actors. The performance can become so habitual that we forget who we are beneath the costume. Yet, nothing is ever truly lost. Every trait, emotion, and dream we reject gets sent away. This is what forms the shadow. Many people are afraid of this concept. They imagine it is filled with nothing but darkness. And they are partly right. But as the great psychologist Carl Jung understood, the shadow also holds everything beautiful that you were forced to abandon. Your ferocious creativity, your undeniable courage, your capacity for deep love, and your power to forgive might all be lying dormant in that same locked vault. The real tragedy of the human condition is not that these gifts are gone. It's that they remain completely unknown to you. This is why the conversation you have with yourself is the single most important conversation you will ever have. Every sentence you repeat about yourself is either reinforcing the mask you wear or slowly unlocking the door to your true self. To heal the mind, you must first see the script. If your thoughts are a broken record of your inadequacy, your unconscious will accept that as the familiar path. But the moment you stop to ask, is this even true? You are beginning a process that will reshape your entire life. Those locked doors begin to tremble. This isn't a journey of positive thinking or empty affirmations. It's a process of becoming conscious. Over the next 7 days, the goal isn't to transform into a different person. It is to begin re-remembering who you were before you were told to forget. The first couple of days are about observation. Pay close attention to your inner chatter. Observe the self-criticism, the fear of the future, the anxiety in specific situations. Don't try to change it. Just listen. Be the one standing on the bank of the river, simply watching the thoughts float by like leaves on the water. For the first time, you will see the patterns that have been pulling your strings. This is the threshold of change. Days 3 and 4 are the days of confrontation. Not with the world, but with the architecture of your own mind. It's easier to change your job, your partner, your city, but far harder to change yourself. You will feel a conflict between the life you are living and the life you know you could live. The purpose here is to understand what your fears are trying to protect. Whenever a powerful emotion arises, anger, jealousy, shame, get curious. Why does this situation trigger you so deeply? What old belief is this emotion trying to defend? When was the first time you remember feeling this way? This is not a sign of weakness. This is evidence that your psyche is finally trusting you with its secrets. We often project our unconscious qualities onto others. The confidence you admire or the arrogance you despise in someone else says more about you than it does about them. You begin to understand that the world is a mirror reflecting back the parts of you that need healing. By the 5th day, you'll notice a shift. The old critical voice starts to quiet down. Another voice, one that is calm, wise, and unhurried, begins to take its place. This is the authentic self. Instead of thinking, I can't handle this, you might ask, what is this trying to teach me? Instead of believing that a mistake is the end of the world, you see it as data. The conversation changes from one of self-defense to one of self-discovery. You aren't aiming for naivety, but for conscious honesty. The 6th day is about embodiment. You take the awareness you've cultivated and translate it into action. As you go through the day, you will feel the urge to fall back into your old personality. Fear will tell you to remain silent. Doubt will tell you to shrink back. When that happens, pause. Take a breath and ask yourself a question. Is this the voice of fear, or is this the voice of my true self? That single pause is where freedom lives. You will find that transformation often happens in the small, unobserved moments. The choice to be honest instead of polite, the choice to be patient instead of angry, the choice to take one step forward instead of freezing. These simple acts are the building blocks of a new character. By the end of the 6th day, you are not just thinking differently. You are becoming different. The 7th day is not the end. It's a new beginning. You have seen the hidden patterns. You have questioned the script. You have discovered that awareness itself is the most powerful tool you possess. But the work is never truly done. There are still many locked rooms in that mansion. Some contain painful memories. Some contain magnificent potential. The journey toward wholeness is not a linear path to a destination. It is a lifelong process of becoming more and more of who you really are. There will be days of backsliding. The old voice will return. Don't be afraid of these moments. The unconscious moves in cycles, revealing deeper layers when you are ready. Growth is not perfection. Growth is recognizing the old pattern and choosing a new response. So tonight, ask yourself one quiet question. What part of me has been waiting to be seen? Don't rush to answer. Let it sit. Listen to your dreams. Pay attention to what moves you. The unconscious doesn't yell, it whispers. If you learn to listen, you will discover that every ordinary day holds the potential for extraordinary insight. Your destiny is shaped by the voice you choose to trust. Your future is not written by circumstance, but by the relationship you have with your own mind. Every thought you question, every fear you face, and every step you take toward wholeness brings you closer to the person you were always meant to become. If this journey has awakened something within you, please subscribe to Winds of Thought and continue exploring the hidden landscapes of the human mind with us.